So when I first saw this story about Haas, it was from, let's just say, a less than reputable source. And I kind of thought to myself, well, I'll probably do a video on this just to look into it, but I'm not sure this is actually true. However, this is actually true. All the big boys are now reporting it. Haas themselves officially responded to it. And yeah, there is an ever so slight chance that Haas are going to struggle to actually make some more races for the rest of this season. They look all right for the Dutch Grand Prix. For the Italian Grand Prix, they say they're all right, but I have heard conflicting reports about that. But after that, we go to, Azerbaijan and Singapore. That's when the real trouble could start for them. But why are they in this trouble? Let's have a look. So there's this article here on SkySportsF1.com. So Haas fully expect to race at next weekend's Italian Grand Prix despite former sponsor Uralkali attempted to seize the team's cars over an outstanding payment. Now, I already brought you this story back in June when this case had been ruled upon in Switzerland, and basically, even though Haas were in their rights to terminate the deal, the court ruled that they owe Uralkali some of the sponsor money that would have been used for the 2022 season. Obviously, Uralkali were the sponsors of Haas. I think they were the title sponsors actually during 2021 when Nikita Mazepin was racing for the team. Then, of course, after that, you had the invasion of Ukraine, Russia doing all that bad stuff, getting banned from international sport pretty much, and Mazepin's contract was terminated. So therefore, the title sponsor Uralkali, their contract was also terminated. But Uralkali had already paid Haas for the 2022 season. Now they're wanting their money back, and the Swiss court actually ruled in favour of Uralkali. So officially, Haas owe Uralkali money. How much money? Well, apparently they owe them $9 million. The sponsorship deal for 2022 was $13 million in total. This is US dollars, by the way. But $9 million of that is owed to Uralkali. So Uralkali have employed bailiffs, and the police have also been involved at the Dutch Grand Prix. They have attended Haas's garage, trying to seize assets. Now, apparently, Haas are going to be fine for this weekend. I mean, they've run in FP1 and FP2, no problems. They're going to be all right for the rest of this weekend. But I have heard some reports saying that apparently their equipment, i.e. all their garage stuff, their cars, the mechanics, all the equipment, all the tools and everything like that, is not allowed to leave the Netherlands. According to Haas, they're going to be fine to go to the Italian Grand Prix, and that might be because of the EU Schengen area, where technically Haas don't have to pass any kind of border control to get from the Netherlands down to Italy. Maybe that's the case, maybe I don't. I mean, I've heard conflicting reports with that. So Haas's participation in the Dutch Grand Prix is not in doubt, but they have been told they will not be permitted to remove their cars and equipment until the payment to Uralkali has been made. So they're not allowed to leave the circuit, apparently. This process is very complicated. That's why why it's taking longer. We would like to, but our lawyers are on it. This is according to Haas team principal Ayu Komatsu. He did an interview with Sky Sports F1 on Friday. We are completely focused to solve this as quickly as possible, so it should be fine. I don't see any issues in competing at Monza. Russian companies such as Uralkali have been under economic sanctions since the invasion of Ukraine in February 22. That means companies like Haas have been unable to make transactions. Yeah, this is the part of the problem as well. You know, Russian companies, they are banned from using the international transaction methods. Is it like IBAN or something like that? SWIFT, I can't remember the terms for it. But anyway, the systems that most people use for these kind of big transactions, Russian companies can't do. And one of the payments that Uralkali has been promised as per the original sponsorship deal has been a Haas Formula One car. So, you know, they've tried to contact Haas to make arrangements to get these payments, to get the cars from 22, but Haas have just not responded until now. Now they're actually responding because they basically got bailiffs and police coming after them. Uralkali said this: "We are aware that Dutch bailiffs accompanied by police last night arrived at the Haas paddock and took an inventory of all racing equipment and their property. This is the expected consequences of Haas's refusal to obey the ruling of arbitrage, awarding payment and a race car to Uralkali. The arbitral ruling was issued on the 12th of June with immediate effect and has been ignored by Haas. Haas has had over 2 months to implement the ruling, and as was reported previously, Uralkali reached out to Haas representatives with options about how to make the payment and where to send the race car without ever receiving a substantive answer. There are not now and never have been any sanctions issued preventing Haas from fulfilling its obligations. Nevertheless, they have gone unfulfilled. I mean, it would have been more difficult for them to pay. I think that's the thing there. We are delighted to hear that following last night's visit from the Dutch authorities, Haas has finally paid attention to the arbitral ruling. Uralkali wants nothing more than to receive than what it was awarded in a fair judicial process and hopes that Haas will move on quickly to rectify the situation so that all sides can move on. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of most of the story. So basically, they're going to be all right for this weekend. There are conflicting reports. Haas say they're going to be fine for Italy. Uralkali are saying no, you're not allowed to move that stuff from the garage. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, the Italian Grand Prix is in a week's time, so they need to be on the road by Wednesday at the absolute latest. I mean, realistically, they want to be leaving Monday, straight away after the race. That's ideally what they want to be doing because of the quick turnaround time. Yes, it's only in Italy, but obviously it's still a long journey by truck. They're mainly going to be moving their equipment and everything by truck on highways. So it's a strange old situation. Haas doing very well on the track, but off it's a bit of a basket case at the moment. I think, for what it's worth, I think they'll just pay it to stop them, because the fines and the damage to their own reputation and their current sponsors for not turning up at the Italian Grand Prix, and in a couple of weeks, a while after that, we're going to have Azerbaijan as well. So what's going to happen then? We'll have to see what happens, guys. I'll bring you any kind of updates I find on this as it happens. It's a developing story, like I said. This has warranted a slightly longer video as well because of that. But yeah, well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Haas will have to pay up, or do you think they'll find a way out of this? Personally, I think if they've got the police and bailiffs involved, they're going to have to pay up. If you've got the authorities like that on your back, you're going to have to pay up. I don't think there's any way around it. But we'll have to see. And for much more Formula One news, keep it tuned right here to the F1Chronicle.com. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and ring the bell as well for much more F1 content just like this.